She came after him, Nikki Haley did, and she saw a bump after the first debate, and he seemed to kind of laugh it off. What did he say afterwards about that interaction and the fact that most of the candidates on the stage seemed to be targeting him?
Well, there's a saying in politics, if you're getting kicked in the rear, that means you're out in front. And as the deputy communications director for Vivek Ramaswamy's campaign, I'd be very concerned if the career politicians on that stage did not go after and attack Vivek Ramaswamy. We feel very confident that you're attacking who you think is the front runner, and that is Vivek. As far as Nikki Haley's comments are concerned, what's dumb is electing a career politician as president of the United States, considering a career politician is the one that wrecked the economy and did not get the job done in Washington. What's dumb is Nikki Haley forgetting the fact that she wrote a very glowing review of Vivek Ramaswamy's first book, Woke Inc., calling him an intellect and that he's honest and a great future leader for America. So Vivek Ramaswamy honored Ronald Reagan's 11th commandment of not attacking a fellow Republican. He was presidential. He actually talked about his vision of how he wants to improve the American economy, grow GDP, protect the southern border, use the military to attack the cartels and bomb the cartels and not lead us into World War III. So there's a very distinction amongst Vivek Ramaswamy, political outsider, business owner, being positive and laying out his vision for America, and other career politicians who just wanted to attack fellow Republicans.
And final question, and a yes or no is fine on this one. All of the candidates on the stage raised their hand. If Donald Trump ends up getting the nomination, they would support him. Would your candidate accept an invitation to be his vice president if asked?
Vivek Ramaswamy is crystal clear. He is running for president of the United States in 2024 right now. He's not running for any other position other than president of the United States, and we're very confident in the same way that the American people elected Donald Trump, a business owner and political outsider, in 2016. They're going to do the same in 2024 with Vivek Ramaswamy as president of the United States.
So that's a no to an VP invite.
That's a firm no.
That's a firm no. Stefan, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.